You can't talk about democracy and the rule of law and not act that way.
When Mr. Chastanet, as Minister of Tourism, tried to sell the Queen's Chain at Jealousy, I was chairman of Just.
Because they are conflicting interests, as I indicated.
It's not a business, it's heritage conservation, and unless you place value on heritage, you will then not see the value of what we do.
Because they are conflicting interests, as I indicated.
We will see a dolphin park in St. Lucia.
My father was part of a group to be able to bring a dolphin park here. And what they couldn't find was a location.
The government didn't interfere with the process. I have not interfered.
I encouraged the developers when they told me that they were having the feasibility of doing the park at Anjabet would be difficult, to look at Pigeon Island.
And he's a hypocrite, right? I have not felt that level of mutual respect.
In my opinion, Mr. Toolsby needs to go.
What has happened to this government is they've personalized everything.
Have somebody who has made it public, her opinion about my party.
No, people keep saying my father's party, but for me right now what exists there is not what John Compton puts or builds.
The marine biologist nomination was met with a rejection.
I think Janet Compton is capable. I think she was qualified.
So even after the election, there is not, even I would say to a respectful relationship.
What's important, right? What's important is that in that conversation that there can be mutual respect.
I see the National Trust jumping up and down and jumping ahead of itself.
What the Prime Minister had to say was not respectful to us and was way out of line.
To do is just think about the DSH thing and all of that.
I think it is important for us not to separate conservation and development because they go hand in hand.
The only reason why we didn't do the development in the mangrove is because of the garbage dump, not because of major environmental concerns.
In developing our nation, we need to make sure we conserve the natural environment. And I got the feeling from the lecture we had that we are against development because we want to conserve the environment. And that's not true.
Now, the relationship between the trust and government is already one that is naturally tense because government wants to develop, the trust wants conservation.
You know, you can create natural spaces, and the natural spaces themselves is what will bring the development. Because we're into tourism. We're into tourism, and the thing about the world now is ecotourism. So why do we think that making all the beaches in St. Lucia a national park for everybody to use, you know, having linear parks along the beachfront that is available to all and not to some, not excluding the beach for, you know, tourism, you know, the tourists alone, and leaving out our people and having a problem, you know, develop between the people and the tourism, but embracing it all. You know, conserve the environment, conserve the forest. Let's walk through the forest. Let's enjoy the forest. Instead of seeing the National Trust and people who are into the environment and conservation, we're not the enemy.
We've not made any secret of it. In opposition, we said what? We have to build a new St. Lucia.
But in his vision, what he forgot to tell us was that in order for him to provide us with this new St. Lucia, he's bent fast on destroying anything of the old St. Lucia, whether it's the St. Lucian psyche, whether it's our heritage sites, anything, and both in a metaphor and physically.
We have to build a new St. Lucia.
Let's work together to create a better St. Lucia for all. Let's create jobs that are not just making up the bed in the hotel, but jobs that, yes, let's get away from the plantation slavery and let's create jobs that are more lucrative for people and embrace it all.